Good morning, dear friends. How are you all doing? Happy Sunday. And we are here with today's Daily Mitzvah, and we have one mitzvah for today, continuing the theme of the mitzvahs of studying and teaching Torah. Today we have the mitzvah that we are obligated to pay respect to the sages. Specifically, the Torah tells us we must stand. The way to respect them is by rising and standing in their presence. As the verse says, and you shall stand before the elderly, and you shall honor the elderly. What does elderly mean here? So a simple reading of the verse just means elderly and a senior person. Advanced in years, says the Rambam. No, over here elderly means spiritual years, spiritual advancement. So somebody who is a spiritually wise, spiritually old, spiritually advanced, that is where there's a mitzvah to respect them. This mitzvah, says the Rambam, applies to every single Jew, no matter how big of a sage or no matter how high of a level of Torah scholarship you have on your own. Which means even from one Torah scholar to another Torah scholar, there is a mitzvah for them to respect each other. And this is what the Talmud tells us, that the great Torah sages of Bavel, of Babylon, of Babylonia, would rise and pay respects to each other, even though they were each great sages in their own respects. But the mitzvah only becomes heightened and becomes even stronger when it's your own teacher in Torah, your own Torah scholar, your own sage, your own Rebbe of your own times. Okay, then the Rambam adds another point, that included in this mitzvah, that there's a mitzvah to respect the sages, there's also a mitzvah to revere them, to have awe, to have reverence. And the Rambam says we know this detail of the mitzvah, not only respect, but also reverence, by a logical deduction. Follow along here. The Torah only tells us to respect the sages, explicitly. But there's another mitzvah. There's a mitzvah to also have respect for your parents. And our sages tell us that the mitzvah to respect a sage is greater and on a higher level than the mitzvah to honor your parents. Which means if there's ever a conflict of interest, you have to choose between respecting parents or respecting a Torah sage, a Rebbe. This Torah sage, the Rebbe, comes first before the parents. So the Rambam says, okay, and we know that there's also a mitzvah when it comes to your parents, not only to respect, but also to have reverence. So if honoring your parents, which is a lower level mitzvah, there's also a mitzvah of reverence, so then we could for sure by the mitzvah to honor sages, there's also a mitzvah to have reverence. So not only show respect, but you must have reverence and show that reverence to your teacher. Specifically, what does that mean? It's forbidden to create a dispute, to go out against your teacher, the Torah sage. You're not allowed to split away and start creating your own thing and giving your own rules in Torah study, and you're not allowed to get angry at him. You're not allowed to judge him unfavorably. You're not allowed to create a whole rebellion against him on whatever level it is. And the Rambam concludes with the final thought that we see from the Torah very clearly, that this mitzvah to have respect to a Torah sage and to not go against them, it is not only that you are violating, that you're going against the Torah sage, you're creating a dispute with the Torah sage, but the Torah considers it as if you are creating a dispute with God himself. And we see this in multiple episodes in the Torah, that there were times when Jews did go against Moses and Aaron, the leaders of the Jewish people of their times, the Debbas of their times, and they created a dispute, they even created a rebellion. The most famous and most dramatic episode is the story of Korach, who created a rebellion, a coup against Moses. He wanted to overthrow the authority of Moses and Aaron. And the Torah says clearly that the Torah considers it not as if they went against Moses and Aaron personally, but it's considered that Korach and those Jews went against God himself. It's a rebellion against God himself. And this the Talmud says this in multiple ways. Whoever makes an argument, whoever gets upset, and whoever double thinks, whoever starts being suspect and being suspicious of their teacher, of their Torah sage, it is as if they are creating a dispute, and it's as if they're getting upset, and it's as if they are having second thoughts on God himself. So this is a very, very severe, important mitzvah, to have respect for the sages, And dear friends, that is our daily mitzvah for today. Thank you for joining and for listening. We'll see you all in a little bit for the next installment of the daily mitzvah. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Sei gesund.